Aries 12, a flock of wild geese. These geese are flying because their migrational instinct must enforce this flight. So there's an obligation, in a sense, for them to do this. And yet, as they do it, they're completely free. They're above it all. And we have an image here of the paradox in life that unifies two important principles. One is freedom, and the other is being who we are authentically. And we are free to do whatever we want, as long as it is what we're authentically meant to do. I don't like that phrase, but there's a sense in which whatever it is that we must do, we're free to do. So we're not really free to go against our inner nature, our essence nature, without cost and penalty. If we try to be what we are not, if we pretend, if we bend out of shape in order to get the rewards from society, if we do that, then there will be a price. So the only freedom we really have is the freedom to be who we are. And that freedom is absolute. We're talking in this degree about how that freedom enacts within us. And the thing is that it's knowledge that makes us free. The world today is more decorated by those who are following the rules, obeying the law and order and the habit and the cultural expectations of their particular place of being. And they obey these rules slavishly. That's not freedom. That's because they don't know. Without knowledge, it's very hard to express freedom. Now, of course, in a sense, a baby does that. They're spontaneously, any young child is spontaneously responding to their feelings and acting them out. But they don't have the awareness of what it means to do that. And that awareness means that they're subject to external disciplines, the parent. We will be subjected to the external pressures of society. There's always a police force acting upon us if we do what we may not do. So having knowledge of the constraints of our environment is an important aspect of our freedom. If we want to do something that we're not allowed to do here and now, then we have to wait until we can do it, or go somewhere else to do it. And we're free to do that. So freedom to do what you choose to do does not give you the power to do that. It just gives you the freedom to do that. If you lack the power, then you can't do it. So this question of freedom has got certain understandings that go with it. If we know how to do something, then we have the power to do it. And if we don't know, then we don't. So the operation of freedom depends upon developing knowledge. And you can't develop knowledge without experience. And you can't develop experience without involvement. And as soon as you're involved, you spent your freedom. That's what you spent it on. Freedom is like money in the pocket. It's absolutely useless until you spend it. And as soon as you spent it, it's gone. Interesting concept, freedom. It's the potential for us to do what we choose to do. And yet when we've exercised that choice, we're involved. And as soon as we're involved, we've spent our freedom. However, the images of the flock of wild geese flying above it all, they're not involved in the earthly goings-on, all the complexity and confusion. They're above all of that, and they're simply on their flight path. They're going where they're going, and they're free in that. So we're free to pursue our life path. And If we don't really know what it is, if we're a bit confused about whether we want this, that or the other, then we won't feel free. But when we do feel free and we're just doing what we love to do and it fills us with joy, then that's our life path. That's how we identify our life path, by finding out what makes us feel freedom. And we can feel freedom within our involvements. For example, most people choose to find a partner and have children, and from then on, the freedom that they once had is irreparably damaged, is gone forever, because you've had kids. And that's permanent. And yet they don't feel enslaved by that. That's an expression of freedom, and it goes on and on and on. There may be momentary lapses when you don't feel quite as pleased to have them as once you did, but it's only momentary. It passes. The general experience is that we're not going to be free without our involvements, whether that's children or careers or anything else. It's our involvements which are the expression of our freedom. If we liken this to the soul and its dance, before incarnation, the soul, unencumbered by a physical body, can fly around immediately. If it just wants to be somewhere else, it thinks that thing and it's there. There's no time lapse. Time is a feature of the earth plane only. And so what we see when the soul is flying in other realms is absolute spontaneity. But down here in the earth plane, it's not available. And so the soul, which is the agency of our freedom, is constrained by a physical body until and unless it dances. Now, if we dance, then we're expressing our freedom. That may be metaphorical, but let's pretend it's not. It's hard to think of anything which is quite as expressive of soul freedom as free dancing. And this is something to contemplate. If we want a certain quality in our lives, then we have to behave as though it's true. So if we were aware of soul consciousness, then we would dance. If we want to become aware of soul consciousness, then perhaps we need to learn how to dance. And that means giving ourselves over to the music. Now the metaphor can come in, and there's a music of life, metaphorically speaking. There's an energy field around us with its own currents and waves of change and tides. It's always moving kaleidoscopically. And that's the music of life. And if we listen to it, feel it, notice it by all the symptoms and signs, and we just respond to that music, that's like dancing. So the freedom that we want to express in life, which is an eternal gift, we are given free will. We are free. And if we notice that our lives don't express that freedom, it's because we've made the wrong choices, and we're still making the wrong choices. If your choice is freedom, then choose freedom and give up constraints. With constraints go the temptations of constraints, which are usually security, position and place, recognition, freedom from adventure, freedom from danger. There's a lot that goes with the involvements that we have that we choose to like. Freedom is not that. Freedom is dangerous, really. Freedom means that you have to respond spontaneously, immediately to everything that comes up. That's a requirement of freedom, that there's no rules, there's no track. With a track, with a set of rules, then freedom disappears immediately. So freedom goes without that. And those of us that have attached ourselves to tracks of behavior and rules to follow, we're not expressing freedom. But those of us who have broken those rules, gone against them, escaped the track, the rut of our lives, and just put ourselves into the wind, then we learn what freedom is. And when we've learned how to be free, we notice that freedom is safe. When there's a position that cannot be matched by a previous experience, we just tune into soul consciousness. The soul knows freedom. It is freedom.